So buying the perfect sports car. I'm here at JZM, just taking a look around at some of their cars here. And I often share like hot hatches on my channel, but I'd love to kind of take that step up now to go to sort of that sports car. Certainly is like an ownership proposition. I've got my eyes on this Cayman R, which we'll go through. The 718 GT4 in shark blue looks amazing. GT2 RS there, and like race cars and everything. It's absolutely stunning. We'll go around everything, and yeah, I want you guys to get into the comments. How do you feel about kind of stepping up from that sort of like performance hatchback, going into a performance sports cars? I've spent a lot of time driving sort of Porsche sports cars around Porsche Silverstone's Experience Centre. They're some of my favourite cars, and that sort of special sort of take is amazing. Let's go through these cars, get involved in the comments, and yeah, let's go through this. So hot hatchback versus sports car. Well, we've got an unbelievable lineup here in 4K. I feel it's a good little debate to kind of talk through, and I'm really, as I mentioned just when I was there, just around that, what you think in the comments. I'm sort of doing voice overlay because there was actually a prospective buyer of a 991.1 GT3 RS. It had an amazing startup, which I will share with you because it was on this. It sounded brilliant actually as I was kind of filming. But this is a GT2 RS, a car that I have actually driven, fortunate enough at Porsche Silverstone's Experience Centre. I say fortunate enough, I paid good money for it, for the experience. I loved the purple in that one, and JZM, so they specialise in sort of like obviously selling Porsches, buying Porsches, the maintenance, the servicing, Manthey tuning upgrades as well. They did work with Matt Armstrong as well, actually, if you recognised his Shark Blue GT3 RS, which has a Manthey kit on it. This is a Shark Blue 718 GT4. Comfort seats, not with the buckets. I love the Cayman. I love the mid-engine philosophy. I love the 4-litre flat six. Really special car. Really good news as well. And, you know, the Cayman R there as well. They're just special cars to me. And I sat in that Cayman R after I did this video, and I was just like, this feels so special. And to be honest, a lot of the content I share on my channel, obviously, is the likes of the Golf R and the GTI 50F. And, you know, they're all around sort of 50 grand. You know, these cars are arguably a more sensible proposition because you're getting that sports car sort of feel. And you're getting a car residually, they do really well. Some of these cars even appreciate if you're lucky enough, or well, if you've sort of got into the right car essentially. That's the Cayman R that I was really kind of checking out. And you could then, I suppose, have a sports car and just have a normal car on the side, for example. So I was checking this one out. I was checking out sort of like the paintwork. I'm always so curious about what previous owners are like. And on JZM's website, they really go into depth about the car, as much detail as they can. And a lot of the cars they sell as well are sort of like off market, and they just go straight away. That's just how it is. You know, if you know what you want, you know what you want. So I went into this car. It's got like I just loved the touch and feel, and that's where a sports car kind of gives you that feeling. It's just lower down, it's more direct, it's, you know, manual dials, for example, in this car, 31,000 miles, I believe, on the Cayman R 987, quite rare. I checked on Auto Trader, and there's only 2 other Cayman Rs for sale, this being one of them. You can get it in a manual too. That one's in PDK. In the comments, you can name which one you like for sure. But there's so many out there, and I don't really know what's kind of been holding me back. You know, I feel that this is a point in my life to kind of take that step. I love the GT2 RS there. That was amazing. They also had a few like Lamborghinis as well. They got a Countach there, a Murcielago, and a Ferrari as well. But I was checking out the GT2 RS just because it looks pretty stunning. There's the Ferrari. Just they all have them on trickle charge. They're all well looked after. There's a BMW there. I know Jamiroquai sort of sells and well, stores his cars there too. The Ruby Star GT4 RS is a car I've driven on the road. It is very hardcore. I would really say it's sort of like track really only, or if you're after that real 10-minute blast, it's bit. If you want more of a car to use every day, get the standard GT4 or even like a GTS 4-litre. This is serious. And in Ruby Star, well, I mean, you know, let me know what you think in the comments. I mean, I chatted to the team there, and they were saying this one's got a lot of interest because of, well, the spec and the colour. They're special cars. Now, this car has the 4-litre flat six, but it's essentially from the GT3. So it's the proper race-derived flat six.
really very, very special. And again, you know, purposeful. I remember when I was driving around in this car, I felt $1 million. I felt so special. A subscriber actually gave me the opportunity to spend a day with it, so I was driving it around, and I just loved it. I was just grinning so much. And actually looking through this car now, obviously PDLS, they're so highly spec'd. Most GT4 RSs are, and this one is no exception. And yeah, it does make me think. You know, I got back into my Golf R, and I was like, I love the Golf R, and I feel it's not really a sports car. Isn't a replacement for a hatch at the end of the day. But you know, obviously, potentially from affordability point of view, to have one car is potentially better. But I see these cars more as the second car, even more so now. And there's me sort of filming away, and that feels okay to me. I I would love to get into one and checking around, and I would do it at JZM. I just have a better vibe. I've been to some Porsche dealers before, and they're great, but this place felt a lot less pressured. It just felt a lot more enthusiast derived. I was even chatting to some prospective buyers when I was in there, and really curious what they kind of owned. I think one had a Golf R32, which was great. Um, there was the 718 GT4 again. I mean, I can't even name all of these cars, but it kind of got me an idea of what I was kind of looking for, and I'm curious to know what strikes you know, what's piquing your interest. And I actually quite like the subtle cars. I have a limestone grey Golf R. Um, the reds. I mean, the shark blue did look great, and this is a proper race in your face type car for me. And maybe as that second car it can work. But there's something about a car like, if you know, you know. Um, I think I like the idea of sort of like PTS, that sort of special options. And I sort of came into this 718 GT4 just to share with you. It smelled amazing. That's the first thing. Bucket seats, the red seat belts, the sort of like the door handles, which are sort of like race car inspired, sort of like the race text type steering wheel, very highly optioned, and a manual as well. And it's got a little fire extinguisher there too, sports chrono. And I always love sort of looking out at like the arches on the front of the Caymans. Just a serious driver's car, these. And if you like your driving, it's such a good car to have. My friend recently sold his 718 GT4 at JZM, actually, a really nice one. I had a bit of time in as a passenger. He's replaced that now with a 992 GT3. So step up, I suppose. But they're just so planted. And in 2026, when I'm filming this, who knows how long it's all going to last. There was the Spider RS there as well. I understand the Spider RS is slightly softer as well than the GT4 RS, which is good. Yeah, is it even a comparison to sort of compare a hot hatch to a sports car when, my hot hatch, inverted commas, because it's four-wheel drive, is that really a hot hatch? 300 horsepower Golf R. It's brilliant, and there's just a little bit around JZM if you wanted to read in terms of what they offer. Yeah, it's kind of like I got it as like a Porsche hatchback in some ways. It was actually developed by someone from Porsche and obviously part of the Volkswagen Audi group. But when you drive these cars, particularly when you've driven them on track, flipping it, they're just amazing. I mean, the ducktail spoiler on this looks fairly stunning. And again, it's the titanium exhaust, the 4-litre flat six race derived engine, and some older more classic Porsches there. And they're great. I mean, if you've got 50 grand to spend on an Edition 50 or a Golf R, you've got to consider something like this. This Carrera 4 GTS really took my fan. You can check on the website to see the exact pricing and stuff. I believe this was around 62,000. But I love the colour. Maybe I'm more of a gentleman spec, but it's still sort of like a great car. They had like the wheels on the side, a Krapovich exhaust. They just had everything there. So I'm going to have to reflect more on this in terms of where I'm at. And what's it going to take me to take that step to getting a sports car? And I've always, dreamt of owning a Porsche. There's me sort of doing a smile. But let me know your thoughts. Hot hatch versus sports car. Is there a comparison? Let me know in the comments because I'm really curious to know which Porsche did you like the best from what I've shared.